They look calm from a distance, mirrors of sky and stone bowls, perfect postcards. But some lakes are traps. They poison the air you breathe, bury entire valleys in minutes, hide evidence of ancient deaths, or carry invisible risks no map will warn you about. Tonight, 7 lakes you should never visit, and the deadly secrets each one keeps. High on the border of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo lies Lake Kivu, a sheet of blue almost the size of a sea. What most visitors don't see is what's dissolved inside it, an enormous store of carbon dioxide and methane locked under pressure in the lake's deep layers. If that gas is disturbed and released, a limnic eruption, the lake could exhale a suffocating cloud and a rolling fire the way a shaken bottle explodes into foam. Scientists call Kivu a killer lake in waiting. That's why extraction barges now sip methane from its depths to relieve the pressure, and towns along the shore run evacuation drills. On the surface, fishermen cast nets beneath pink sunsets. Below, the chemistry waits, and nobody knows when the lake will decide it's had enough. 2 countries away in Cameroon, a smaller, quieter lake once gave the world a warning. Lake Monoun doesn't look like much, a green oval set into old volcanic ground. One night in the 1980s, the water turned into a weapon. Without an explosion, without a wave, the lake released a heavy cloud of carbon dioxide that slid downhill like an invisible flood. People collapsed mid-step. Animals fell where they stood. By morning, silence. Only later did investigators understand what had happened. Gas had accumulated in the lake's depths, then overturned and escaped in a single breath. Monoun was a lesson written in air, one that would help explain an even greater tragedy at a sister lake nearby. Today, pipes stand in Monoun to continuously vent gas from the deep. The surface shines. The danger is managed, not erased. From the tropics to the coldest place on Earth, buried beneath more than 2 miles of Antarctic ice lies Lake Vostok, a body of water sealed off from the world for hundreds of thousands of years, maybe more. No wind touches it. No sunlight ever reached it. It is a locked vault of time, a dark ocean under a ceiling of ice. When scientists finally drilled toward it, they did so with the caution of thieves afraid to trip an alarm. The fear wasn't monsters in the dark, but contamination, introducing modern microbes into an ecosystem that hasn't seen the surface since before human memory. Vostok is not forbidden because it's evil. It's forbidden because it is pure. If life exists there, it would be life that evolved in isolation, a glimpse of what Earth once was, or what alien oceans might be. For now, the lake remains a secret under pressure, held by a continent of ice that keeps its promises. Out on the Kazakh steppe, there's a blue bowl with clean slopes and a terrible origin story. Locals call it Atomic Lake. In the 1960s, engineers tested whether nuclear blasts could be used as tools to carve canals, to move mountains, to dig lakes. One device went off, dirt rose like a black flower, and when the dust fell back, a crater filled with water. The lake is still there, gleaming and quiet, with radiation in its bones. Birds land on its edge, shepherds skirt around it, and a fence does little to erase what it is. A monument to a time when humans thought the atom could be just another piece of earth-moving equipment. You can stand on its rim and hear nothing. The danger here isn't loud. It's the kind that seeps, the kind that counts in invisible units and long half-lives. Climb into the Indian Himalaya and the threat changes shape. At more than 16,000 feet, a small pool of water sits in a rocky cirque, Roopkund, better known as Skeleton Lake. When the ice pulls back, bones rise out of the melt, skulls with round fractures on their crowns, ribs, long femurs bleached by altitude. For a time, people said the dead were soldiers or traders lost to some forgotten disaster. The legend below told a different story. A goddess angered by a royal procession threw hail as hard as iron from the sky. Forensics gave that myth sharp edges. Many skulls do bear blows from above, consistent with fist-sized hail. Case closed? Not quite. DNA unlocked a stranger truth. 2 distinct groups of people died here centuries apart. One local to South Asia, another with ancestry from the Mediterranean. No trade road leads here. No caravan has business at this height. The mountain doesn't explain. It keeps stacking questions with the bones. In California's Sierra Nevada, near the resort town of Mammoth Lakes, there's a place where trees die standing up. Horseshoe Lake sits in an old volcanic field. The danger isn't in the water, it's in the ground. Carbon dioxide seeps up from fractures in the earth and pools in the soil, displacing oxygen. From a distance, the forest looks normal, until you notice the bark sloughing off, the dead needles, the bare trunks leaning like old matchsticks. Walk through on a still day and your breath can thin without warning. Signs on the trails don't shout, they warn. This is a hazard you can't see, the kind that kills roots and then comes for lungs. Tourists picnic on the shore while a geologic reminder hisses through the dirt. Even quiet volcanoes speak. Across the world in France, in a volcanic crater draped with forest, a dark circular lake wears a reputation like a crown. Lake Pavin is beautiful, too beautiful perhaps for the stories that cling to it. Fishermen talk about sudden dead zones where nothing lives. Locals whisper about whirlpools that open without wind. The science behind the legend is stranger than superstition. Pavin is a stratified lake, its bottom waters cut off from the surface. In those depths, gas can accumulate. Under the right conditions, a turnover could send a pulse upward that strips oxygen and creates a pocket where life struggles, a smaller cousin to the catastrophes Africa once endured. Whether that would ever rise to the scale of a disaster is debated. What isn't is the lake's mood. It reads as calm. Then you catch the way sound dies on its surface, the way the trees bend toward it as if listening. 7 lakes. 7 different ways water can hurt you. Dissolved gas waiting for an excuse. Radiation dressed in blue. An ancient ecosystem too fragile to touch. Bones that rewrite a legend and refuse to tell the whole story. Poison air that hides in the dirt. A surface that lies about what's underneath. If you ever find yourself at one of these shores, remember, danger doesn't always look like danger. Sometimes it looks like a postcard. Sometimes it looks like a perfect mirror. Sometimes it looks like a trail wrapping down to a quiet edge, with a sign that says nothing and means everything. If you want more hidden history and real-world mysteries, subscribe to DarkCurio. New deep dives every week.